can be legendary if you want to. And there is no. Hey everybody, welcome back to another motherfucking story time with Sue. So today we're gonna have a story time about the time that I helped save somebody's life. I can't do all my jigging and shucking and jabbing because I just had surgery today and I'm hurting really bad. But that ain't stopping shit, bro. Y'all know what it is going on around this month. Y'all know who I am. I mean, I know I got some big bags under my eyes, but look, it's late. It is about to be 12 o'clock in the morning. But we're gonna get this story time done. I don't have any. I got some, but that's not what's in this cup today because I'm not supposed to be drinking for another couple of hours or whatever. This is juice. This is Arizona. But anywho, hold on. But anywho, let me see. So how we gonna start this story time? I'm gonna take it back. This was about, I don't even know what year this was. What was this? Maybe 2022, I think it was. So this was specifically on Martin Luther King's birthday, and I remember because as a day I never forget, it was on Martin Luther King's birthday because I took my daughter to it's like a museum and it's called DuSable and it's in Chicago in the city, and it's like a Black history go away, cat. Sorry y'all, I got my mama cat over here. The cat's doing all type of crazy stuff. But anywho, it's like a bunch of African American history in there. Like they have things with Martin Luther King Jr. in there. They got little things that you can watch the history and how when he did his speeches and how that stuff worked out. So that's where we was at. It was me, it was my child, my daughter, and my oldest daughter, and it was my children's father. I was pregnant at the time, but I was very, very, very early. Like, I think I was just finding out at the time. Okay, cool. So, y'all gotta work with me, y'all, because I'm hurting. I'm trying to think. Okay, so, boom, I take my daughter in there so she can get some Black history at an early age, And we was up in there taking pictures, walking around, woo, da da da. It was nice, we got to see a bunch of different things, sculptures, blah blah blah. So we just so happened to leave, and it was like the way that the parking was. It was like everybody had to park on like a main busy like street, so it's hard finding parking spaces and spots like that on a main road, and like everybody, it was jumping that day. Everybody had the same idea I had, go up there and do some Black history or whatever. Okay, cool. So we get out and we're leaving, and we get into the car and I'm driving, and I didn't even leave past the the area. Like the area was right here. There's a stoplight, like so this is the area, boom. It is a stoplight like right here on the corner. So like we still looking directly at the place that we just left or whatever. Okay, cool. So we ended up stopping at the stoplight, and I heard a lady calling out for help, and I don't know, like God kind of like summoned me to look. Like I be nosy, but then again, I don't be that damn nosy. I'm just riding, and with me and my baby dad was talking or whatever, and I hear some help, like, and it just really stood out to me. And she's like, help or whatever. They stuck on the side of the road. It's like a van. She's parked next to another car, but she's holding up traffic, and like everybody's like beeping and honking the horn and going around them and shit with attitudes. But I don't know, something just caused me to look, and I said, help, wait a minute. So I turned at the light. I wasn't supposed to. The directions was telling me to go straight because I was on my way home, but I turned right instead of going straight, and I kind of just sat there for a moment. I just parked, and I just looked for a minute, and she was saying help, and it was a police officer's car across the street, and he wasn't doing anything. Like, everybody's just steady going and beeping and honking. The lady's like, she needs help. So I'm just like, bruh, I told my baby dad, get out the car and go see what's going on, you know? Something just told me, something told me to go, you know, see what was going on. So I told my baby dad to get out the car. He got out the car, he went over there, and boom, it's this guy. And this guy is like throwing up like profusely, like he was vomiting so much. And all I know is like my baby dad comes back to the car, and I was like, bro, like, what's going on? And I said, go get a bottle of water out the trunk and go give it to them, see if they are right. So he went and he got the bottle of water. He got the bottle of water at the car and at the trunk. Hold on, y'all. Sorry, y'all, this damn cat. But anywho, so yeah, I ended up telling him to go get the bottle of water at the trunk. He took the bottle of water to the guy, and come to find out, the guy was like, I guess they said that he was drinking something, and he just started like throwing up and seizing at the same time. So I'm just like, oh shit. So the guy was like loopy and out of it. So my baby dad came back to the car because he didn't know what to do. So something told me, like, y'all, God spoke to me, like, literally. I heard his voice. He talked to me, and he told me to get out that car and go over there. So I went over there, and like, before I went over there, I just sat in the car and I just observed for a minute. Like, God told me to sit and watch and see something. He was trying to show me something. And so, you know, God showing me this, and this guy is like, literally, he gets out the car and he's like stumbling, and he threw up on somebody else's car, and he was like stumbling like he was drunk or something. But I don't understand how I sensed it and how I knew, but I knew that he wasn't okay. And he tried to grab, like, it was this tree, and it was like this, and it was like a thin ass tree, you know, them real thin ones, like, you know, they real thin, like a stick or something. And he was like trying to grab onto it so it could hold him up, and the fucking branch snapped and he hit the ground. And I was like, I don't know, somebody right. So I had went over there, and that guy was doing so bad, like he couldn't stand up straight. His eyes kept rolling. And so I said, hey, are you okay? And I went over there, and I was just like, bro, I'm like, somebody needs to call the police. And the lady came over, and she was like, I called the police. There's a lot of people that saw him out there struggling, but nobody did anything to help. And so I just kind of stood out there, and I was like, hey, I know I'm little or whatever, but you know, you welcome to, you know, lean on me. It's okay if you throw up on me or whatever, you know, just, you know, I got you. So I was standing over there kind of holding the guy, and then I guess somebody else had came up, and so they grabbed the other side of him because it was two ladies. And by this time, another, excuse me, it hurts to cough. Another lady had ended up pulling up, and I guess that was one of their relatives. And they were both, the lady that was calling for help and the older lady that pulled up, they were both older. So they couldn't, you know, do anything with him by themselves. Like, they was old as hell. But so they tried to help me get the other side of him. He was just leaning on us for a minute, throwing up all over the ground and shit. And so, you know, I was asking what was going on. They explained to me he was having a seizure and stuff. He was having a seizure while drinking the pop, and it went down wrong and stuff like that. And yeah, so okay, cool. So we're waiting, and I told my baby dad. My baby dad came back over. My daughter was, you know, in the car and shit like that. My baby dad came over. He was like, hey, well, what should I do? What should I do? And I'm like, dude, I see an ambulance come over, like, it was like riding up the street, but it wasn't coming for this guy. It was just riding. So I told my baby dad, go get them people, go get those people and have them come over here so they can help this man. Cause okay, so boom, across the street, directly across the street, was a hospital. And um he couldn't get over there. He was like, he couldn't walk. Like, he was, every time he tried to stand up, he kept falling over. Like, it just was not normal. That's the best way I could describe it. It was so scary. And I was just like, oh my goodness. So that's why I allowed him to lean on me, because he couldn't stand up. And like I said, his eyes was rolling the whole time. He didn't know what was going on. Like, he was hysterical. Like, he was like, where am I? What's going on? Like, that's all he kept saying. What's going on? I'm like, do you know your name? Do you know what day it is? You know, even I don't know what made me ask these questions. Like, I used to be a caregiver. So me thinking of something like that, I'm just like, okay, are you okay? Do you know what day it is? Do you know what your name is? Do you know, like, where you are, stuff like that? So he couldn't tell me any of that. Like, he just was like, where am I? What's going on? What's going on? I don't know what's going on. And like, it scared the hell out of me. So boom, I'm still holding the guy. So my baby dad goes and gets the people, the ambulance people, and they parked and pulled over, and like four guys pulled over or whatever. So boom, they come over. They ran. The ambulance people ended up going across the street to the hospital and getting a chair, because he could not walk. And us trying to walk him, it was just me and an older lady on the other side of him, and we couldn't get him across the street. He was a big ass dude. Like, he was big as hell, and you know, he kept falling and shit. So, you know, we couldn't carry all his weight. Well, I could have carried some of his weight if I had someone else matching me to carry the weight, but she was older, and of course she couldn't, you know, lift that much. So we couldn't get him across the street. And the ambulance people had ended up coming over with the wheelchair. And so boom, me and the lady, no, so at this point the lady had someone with her. It was a guy. I don't know if that was his cousin or what. The dude comes over and helps me walk the guy to the wheelchair. And the ambulance people ended up rolling him over to the hospital, and boom, bada big bang, that was that. And so then they ended up asking me, like, it was the guy came back and asked me, like, what was my name? I told him my name. And he asked me, like, what caused you to come over and do that? I'm like, honestly, I don't know. Like, I used to be a caregiver, and I don't know. I just, something told me to come over and help this guy, because this lady, and so come to find out, this lady was out there for at least 30, 45 minutes screaming for help. And like I said, everybody was like riding past her. Nobody was trying to help. The police officer was in the fucking car, y'all, in the fucking car, directly across the street in front of in front of the hospital. And they didn't do anything. They just sitting there watching. And I'm just like, bro, like, so I ended up going on Facebook Live, and I went on a big ass rant, and I was snapping the fuck off, because I'm like, it doesn't make sense that y'all are hearing this lady calling for help. Y'all seeing this man struggling, but none of y'all are doing anything to help. This is ridiculous. I guess they may have thought he was drunk or whatever. So boom. So I'm trying to think what happened after that. Oh, so come to find out, the guy took my number down, and he was like keeping me updated with the guy. Mind you, complete stranger. I don't know this guy. I don't know this motherfucker from a goddamn rock on the ground. I don't know this dude. Just, I went to help. So I asked them to keep me updated. So couple days later, he's in the hospital, and the guy, his cousin or whatever, was texting me and letting me know that if I had not went over there and my baby dad didn't help, because he was seasoned and stuff. I forgot exactly what they said, but it's like he was seasoned and stuff. And if we didn't come over there to help him to get to that hospital in enough time, he was literally like, he was out there fucking dying. What? He was dying. So mind you, let me backtrack a little bit. In the midst of me not knowing what was going on, I remember remember I told y'all I had a slip and fall at Wendy's a few days prior to that. And I, snapped I sprained my arm. I snapped my arm. So, and then I got into that fight. It made my arm worse. So, that was another thing that was going on with me around this time. And I was doing physical therapy. So while I was in physical therapy, I was stressing so bad about this guy for whatever fucking reason. For whatever reason, I was stressing about him. And I just prayed. I kept praying. I kept praying. I kept praying. Every day while I was in physical therapy, I prayed the whole time I was there for this man that he be okay. Come to find out, like I said, he was dying like before our fucking eyes. And if I had not have went over there and my children's father and stuff like that hadn't called that ambulance over there, that man was about to die. Like, and nobody was doing anything about it. So that's the crazy thing about it. And I was so angry about the fact that that man was out there falling all over the place, couldn't think, couldn't see. Like, that shit was fucking ridiculous. And the fact that the police officers was right there, it was so many ambulances that just rode past carelessly. Like, how'd y'all not hear this little old lady begging for help? Like, I don't know if, I think she said that that was her partner. They was like working or something. And yeah, that's how that shit went. Moral of the story, yeah, this is gonna be a pretty short video, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm ready to lay down. My stomach hurts like hell, and I'm just not feeling it. I'm tired as a motherfucker. But yeah, I just wanted to share this story with y'all, about, you know, me going out and helping somebody. And you know, I ain't trying to, like, you know, be no weird ass bitch, you know, hey, I did this, you know. No, like, I just want you motherfuckers to know it's still some good people out here, bro. It's still some good people. And when God calls you to do something, do that shit. Do that shit. Don't ask no questions. Don't go against your gut. Do that shit, bro. You might be saving somebody's life, because I don't know, like, that would have been crazy. Like, imagine if I would have kept driving and going home and not thought shit about it. And so, like, when I got home, I was so fucking, like, that whole situation was on my heart so heavy. Like, even my baby dad, like, it was so crazy and scary that we stopped fucking, like, we didn't eat shit. We couldn't eat for a while, and we kept talking about it for like days. And that's all I remember about it. That shit was crazy as hell. But I'm glad that I was able to help that guy. And, you know, prayerfully he's still alive to this day. And, you know, God keeping his hands over that man. Let's see. I guess that's gonna be the end of the story time. So sorry it was short this time. Next time I try to make it longer. And next time I probably won't be hurting as bad either. But love you guys. Thanks for listening. See you in the next story time. Bye.